Hey, welcome to Daddy Fight Club and another episode of See and Avoid. And C Ray has something special for us today. What have you got, C Ray?
Well, Karlyn, I know you're going on your trip and you were talking about getting a knife for it and stuff. And I was like, hey, do you have a lanyard? And you're like, no. I was like, there's a knot that I want to show you. But in this, I want to tell you a couple of things, some backstory. I was with Jim Edwards, Jim, Copywriting Secrets. If you don't have this book, you got to have it. I mean, it's so awesome. I even love the font. If I couldn't read, I'd just sit there and look at it. It's so cool. Look at the diagrams. Anyway, but I was with Jim and I had tied a knot. He was like, well, that was a cool knot. Do you know a bunch of stuff like that? I was like, absolutely. And he looked at Erica and Erica was like, oh, yeah. He's like, you got to teach me some of that stuff. Well, my buddy here in Clinton, his name's Jerry Bradshaw. You could not have a better friend. I don't care what I'm into. One phone call and he's 100% in. I mean, it started in high school. I was making knives. I needed a 2x72-inch belt grinder and had an idea. He's like, come on by. And we spent hours. That guy is a genius. He can build anything, but he's even a better friend. He's got a nice big shop. I'll go see him. He'll be working dead into something, and I'll show him something. He just drops it like he's doing nothing, like he's waiting to do something. So anyway, if you don't have him as a friend, you're missing something. But I digress. Anyway, we were looking at, and we send YouTube stuff back and forth, and he found this channel. The name of it was Stumpy Nubs. He made woodworking stuff and metal stuff and all this stuff. His thumbnails, and we didn't know it was called a thumbnail at the time, were outlined different colors. So if he was working on wood, then that would be one color. If he was working on metal, it'd be a different color. So if you're scrolling through his stuff, he said, "Oh, let's see what he's doing here." So I was like, I always thought that was cool. Well, my neighbors call when I'm out moving around doing some cool sea ray stuff. And a friend of mine named Norman that works out with us at Phoenix Fit, I kind of took that from him because when he's left on his own accord, I'm like, what are you going to do today? He said, I'm going to go do some cool Norman. He doesn't say stuff. I've taken that and I started thinking about all the stuff that I do and use. It's like, we need to have the stuff that dads need to know. I need to teach that too. So not only with See and Aware and Daddy Fight Club, we also the normal day-to-day stuff. So this is how it all came together that I want to teach you how to tie this lanyard knot. Now, it's very useful. These are my keys, and this is the knot. And I'll loop that
Oh, that's
around my belt and
beautiful.
hook it back. But if you look at it, if I can find the camera, it's very decorative. But what I like about it, you've got two parallel lines and it goes crazy and it comes out two parallel lines. Let's
Now,
see
now
what
let me
else I've
ask you a
got in there.
question. Does that help keep things in order? The two parallel lines, does that help keep things? I mean, does it work better than a normal knot? I guess
Well,
I'm
you
asking the why.
well the why well is it looks good, but it's streamlined. So this
Okay.
little pokey device here is usually in my pocket. And if you see this knot, that'll go through my belt loop. And then when I pull it out of my pocket, it comes out. It's very nice. But
Huh?
that's the knot that I use because it lays low and it's not going to come undone and it looks cool. So when you're doing cool
Okay.
Sea Ray stuff, it's got to be cool. Here's my wallet. Here's my earbuds that I lost the second day I had them. I said, if I find them, I'll fix that. So if you look, there's a lanyard knot on this side and there's one on this side. So if somebody takes my wallet, they're going to take my earbuds too. There might be a fight. So I want to teach you this because I use it on everything. I mean, zippers, whatever I need to tie something on to, I use it. So best to learn it with two different color ropes. Of course, it would be one loop. Let's
Okay.
look at the tying of it real quick, and then we'll break it down.
Okay.
And there's the finished product.
Wow, that was beautiful and simple watching it on a video.
And I'm so lucky because I don't know where I got the knot from, but I found actually an app that had knots on it. It's called Grog's Knots. So, but if you look at this, okay, this is the first step. So you're going to grab one
Okay.
side. So we're just going to go under that. So the way I do it is I just grab one, find my camera, and I turn it under itself.
Okay.
Okay. So the next one, you're going to hold that and you'll take this piece and slide it up through that hole. So it
Okay.
goes up like that. Now let's go to the video. So if you notice, we've got this already. Now we're going to take the second piece and bend it up through the center and pull that out so it's sticking up. Got that?
Yep, I believe so. I've got this sticking up through the center right now. I've got the yellow one
Mm-hmm.
coming up.
All right, so this is a key point right here. If you look at this part, we're going to go over. So we come out of that loop, go over, then under, and then back through. Now, once you see this done, you'll understand what's happening. So now, if you go the wrong way, it falls apart. So I go over that one, and then under that one, and then pull it through. Okay, so let's get to the pull it
Then
through part.
back
Uh,
through. I mean, this is almost like the bowling in some ways.
So if you look right here, now I'm dressing mine up so it'll look good. Because the thing about it, you want equal lengths on both sides. This was our loop that we went up through, then we went over this part, under that part, and now it's fed back through.
Okay, I think I'm there. I think I've got
So,
it.
so if you look at it and you dress it up, if you tighten it up just a touch, okay, if you had a marble, it would sit right there, and
Marble.
it
Okay.
should be symmetrical. Okay,
Okay.
so dress it to where it looks like that, and that's what we're looking for this pattern. See how that goes? So this was our first loop. Okay, see that blue?
Okay. Yep.
So that's our first loop, and that was where we went underhand with it. We were here, we grabbed it and folded it under itself. So that's the first loop. The second loop, we're going to pull this through the center. So that goes up
Right.
through the center. All right. Now we're going to make that decorative pattern. So if you look at this here, I go over, under, and through the loop that we made. And that's where we start dressing it up, spinning it around to where we want this knot to lay flat at this point.
Okay. I think
Okay.
I'm there. I think I'm there.
Okay. So let's go
I
back to
think I've
this
got
next one.
this right.
You've got this position. Okay. Now,
Right.
like I said, if you
Right.
had a little marble, it could cradle right there. Now, what I
I'm
like to
at
do is start
I'm at
pulling
that
this.
position.
Okay, good. Perfect. Perfect. So what you want to do now is start walking that down to where it isn't a marble being in the center of it.
Okay.
So you're going to make like a cup, really. So you've got the two tails. And if you look at it, you're going to go around the other color on both sides. The way I look at it, see how that's up like a flower?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna take my orange one and go around the green one and come through that symmetrical hole in the middle of all of it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and so I'm tightening that down and sliding it to where I've got that center hole going symmetrically right through the center. See
Okay.
that?
Yep.
You're going to take one of those leads, go around the opposite one. So my green one's going to go around the orange and go through the center. And the same thing, my orange is going to go around the green and go through the center.
Okay. So I think I've done both of those through the center.
Okay. Now I
Yeah, I'm
usually
starting
just
to see it form.
I start to rub it and start to dress it down and pulling things equally. And then all of a sudden, you got it. What we just did right then is we had this
Addressing and
piece.
pulling.
I go, okay, remember now this is the blue side here. Okay, let's go.
Yep.
The red side's going to go, oops. The red side's going to go around that and through that center point. That's where I have my pin. And then the other one, which would be the blue side, is going to go through the center too. Just like that. So that's going to be red, and that's going to be blue.
So they both come out the center.
And that's why it's important when it's in that marble, like where I said it was holding the marble, to get that all nice and symmetrical and straight. And then as you dress
Uh-huh.
it down, then it will come out to a nice little knot. Let's watch it again. So you start. Now, what I want you to visualize is that the area where that marble would be sitting, that equally
Okay.
distance, everything's equally. It's almost if you drew it on the board, that knot, everything would be the same size. And then we start shrinking that down. When you shrink it down, it kind of cups up like it's going to hold the marble. That's when those two go through the center and it closes it up. So watch.
Okay.
That's first, the opposite goes up through the center. And this is where we start to make, there we go. That's the first point that you want to get to and get everything symmetrical. So let's get back to there.
Okay. And then
You know,
this
it takes a
one.
little bit of time, but once you get it, you can use this on all kinds of stuff. It's really, really a go-to thing for me.
Right.
All right, so we go
Yeah.
overhand or under right there. Then you take the opposite and go up through that hole. Now at this point, I make sure everything kind of the same length on the tail.
Okay.
The next part is to go over the opposite one. Because if you go under it, it falls apart. You go over and under and then through that hole you made. Okay, then it looks like a mess. Now we start to pull
Oh,
that
yeah.
in.
I see what I've done wrong. I see what. So, yeah, I gotta go over, around, and under. Come on. Over, around, under. And then you want symmetric tails when we get to this point,
Yeah,
right?
and you want, see how that has that basket.
Okay.
So like I said, if you turned it upside down and placed a marble, it looks like it had a little bed. But this point right here, getting that to where all of this is equal
Okay.
is key.
I
Okay, now
am
that's good.
there.
Now tighten that up to make it where it's tight.
Okay.
And you just start dressing that down and pulling it, making it equal distance.
Making
That's the
sure
key
everything
for it.
is.
Let's see. Okay, flip it to the other side. Let me see. Okay, okay. So now you've got these two tails. You're going to go around the opposite color. So this one's sticking out this way. It goes all the way around this and goes through the center. You've got the tail goes around the standing part of the opposite one, and then it goes straight out the rabbit hole. Boom. Okay. So now you grab the other tail, it goes around the other standing point and goes straight out the rabbit hole. And then as you start to pull that and work it down,
Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. Goes around that. This one comes around. Comes.
and I'll probably print this out to a PDF and put it on the blog at some point.
Yeah.
The stuff that needs to be seen like that. I think that'd be a good way to do it.
Yeah. So take a look at that before I dress it down.
Okay. Okay. What you need to do, look at this. This is, I see what's going on.
Should I pull back those two?
The point of going in before that, I want to go and see, I get mine oriented. So I go under, then go there, under, over, under. Okay, so I've got this. See, now that's loose, right? Now, that's kind of loose. So as I start to dress this down and pull it, I want to almost complete the knot, and I use this to stretch that hole in the middle out. See how I've got that pulled?
So stretch that hole in the middle.
So that's where that marble would sit. It's kind of a small cup, and it's 90 degrees to the standing lines. I need a marble.
So I've take a look at this. I've got these loops coming over the top, the outer loops coming over. That's correct, right?
Now tighten that all down to right here.
Everything. Dress it down.
So
okay, let's do it
get
again.
this thing right.
Practice.
All right, let's go back to the video and watch it. Because what I do, I like to tie these knots in my head. I have to visualize it. It's like, okay, that goes under, then that goes through, and then I make the decorative basket. So look at the video.
Okay.
All right, so that goes, you're under, stick that through the hole. Now comes the decorative basket. That's the starting of it. Boom. And then we go around that and go through, and the other one goes around the other side and goes through. And there's the finished dress. Go under with the orange one. And I go up through, right?
Yep.
Now this is where I go over and under and back through. And if you don't do that right, one, it won't be symmetrical, and two, it'll fall apart when you get to this point. But let me get this dress. And this is where the key to the knot is, working these things around to where they're the same length and how you want them. So if you can see that, this is where we're going right here. So we've gone
okay. I went around, under, and back through. Oh, wait. I didn't do it right. I went round.
Move number one right there is that going under there. Move number two is taking that piece and pulling it through. Okay. When you do that, that lets its own tail go back through that loop that you made.
Right.
Okay. So when you do that, then you end up at this point, and you want it to look just like that. So
I believe that's where I'm at.
we go number one. This is number two. And then number three is going under there. Let me get my other pen. That's it. That's number one right there. Then number two, we take this loop and pull it through the center, and that makes a hole for its own tail to go through. So now it's gone through. This is where all the time needs to be spent, and getting that tight and close and symmetrical. If I pull that green one too far under, then it makes that kind of weird looking. So everything's got to stick out at this point the same amount. And see how the orange one's not sticking out? I want to pull that to where you've got the marble basket.
Okay. Got it.
All right. So at that point, now we're going to go We're going to take each one of these tails, this one and this one. So this is going around that and coming through the hole. And then this one can come
Okay.
around there and through the hole.
I think I got it this time. Yes. There we go. So loop, the second one goes on top before it comes through the hole? Yep, it does.
Yeah, once you get that dress down, then we go around the opposite one and through the center. And this one goes around the opposite one and through the center. When I get to that point, I go, okay, so I'm hanging down. I go around the opposite one and up through the center. It's like I'm running out of the hole. Then I do the same thing here. And I still make sure all these are the same equal tightness. So as I
Okay.
start to, I roll this and pull a little bit, both ends equally. And then I'll roll it some more and pull. And then I start working it around. And you'll have like,
Yeah,
okay, the
that time
orange
I
one's about,
got it.
you got it?
Yeah, that time I got it. I can tell I got it because I don't have anything sliding this
Okay,
time.
now look, don't pull
And
this
it's
way. Don't pull this way. Keep those parallel and extend them equally together as you roll it.
okay. Yeah, I
And
got
then
it
you
this time. I can tell from the form.
see if there's anything in between those. And there should be nothing in between them. I don't know how old I was, but it took me forever to, because I didn't have anything to record with. I just knew, okay, get to this mat. It's kind of like, I think about that shape is like when they do a decorative mat, like they'll have a rope placemat or something.
Well, and partly what I'm not fighting with, but that first when you do that first loop and then you go around, it's reminding me of the bowling because we used to race and do the bowling in scouts all the time.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
so I'm like, okay, unlearn that for just a minute and stay focused on this and figure this out.
And there's something here that will help too. When I go from this one, I go under,
Uh-huh.
okay? I make sure I line this one up to where it falls without a twist in it. Okay, so tell me when we'll walk it together.
Okay. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna
Okay,
try
so
this
hold
different.
hold one stand straight up like this.
Yep,
Okay. Now roll that under itself.
like that, like so, right?
Nope. Okay, so make it flat. Let's say
Okay,
that's a shelf. That piece is going under the shelf. Yes. Yes. Okay.
like that. Yep.
Like that. Now I'm going to take this other tail. I shouldn't have wore black. I take this other tail and I'm going to fold it because it's going to go towards that other line. So I fold it with the tail going that way towards it. Okay.
Yeah, because this tail is gonna come up
Now
and over and under this.
we go around, over, then under, and back through itself.
Yep.
Okay, now this point you can start seeing that nice basket starting to form. Don't pull it too tight and kind of make it cup like you're going to hold a marble.
Okay.
And if they're not the same length, because, let's say you're working on a zipper or something, um, you want to have so much. I always tie longer and cut it off so I don't have to try to get the tails equal. Okay.
So I got my tails equal.
Well, like I said, I don't worry about that because the thing, I'm going to cut it off anyway, the length I want. So
Oh,
I
okay.
worry about the length that I want from my zipper or the knife or whatever. So once you get this position,
I got the basket. Got my basket going there.
okay,
See
yes,
my basket?
yes. Now make it like it's going to hold the marble. Make it start to cup around your finger when you're. Let me dress mine down. I'll show you what I'm talking about. You want it to cup up as you're tightening it down. Okay, so go under. Yes, that's looking better. Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
Good. All right. Yeah, that's what you want. Okay. Now from that point, you're going to go that last tail that you made that when you made that loop. Okay, you've already done it over, under, and back through. Make the basket. Now
I'm at the basket.
you're at the basket, just like this. Just like this, you're at the basket. You're going to take your one color, go around the opposite color, and go up through the center. Then you'll take the other color, go around the opposite color rope, and go up through the center.
Up through the center on that one. Around and up through the center on that one. I think I'm getting it. Yeah. I mean, I might not be dressing it right yet, but I am. I mean, that's where the marble basket was,
Yep. And
and
see
that's
see how
the top
mine.
side.
Let's see if I can find. Come here, focus.
Yeah. So as you
So now,
dress it down, oh, go ahead. The two colors, like the blue, the yellow in this case,
uh-huh.
as you dress down, do you pull from the center out, or
So
you
what
just
I
kind of
do,
pull?
watch this. So once I make sure that they're everything kind of equally length around here,
Uh-huh.
I rub it, squeeze it, and then pull both away from each other. So I'm here and I pull, and I'm here, I squeeze and roll it, and I pull, and I keep doing that until it ends up like that.
I got it. I got it.
Have you got it?
I think so. I'm gonna have to watch this video over and over and practice though, because this is kind of like the bowling in the square knot. It's a knot you need to never forget, and
Yeah.
I
Well,
like it because anyway,
I
I
looked
like
up.
it when you learn a knot and you have muscle memory with it.
Right.
That's what I really like. But yeah, I believe I have it now. Let me demonstrate here.
Okay. So put those. Try to put them. You're pulling this way. Once they go through and you're making
Hmm.
that knot, now they are brothers. They stick together and stay together. So dress it with it
Yeah.
being parallel. Yeah. Let me see the center. Yeah, I think you get. Yeah, and only thing that's just as you tighten it down, it'll pull those other two centers,
Yeah. I mean,
and
it's
then and then and
yeah.
then rub it again, shake it up, and pull, and rub it and shake it up, and then you start snapping it. Look how nice and tight that one is now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I got it. I got it. Woohoo!
Let me
That is
see.
cool. I like a good knot.
Hold it up so I can see. Yeah, that's it. But see, like I said, I go from. Let me take this off my wallet. I go from this smallest little cord here. I've got one there and one there. But
Oh,
I don't
okay.
have another knot that would look that good, that would stay that safe. That thing's not untying. You know,
I agree. It's not coming out now.
you know, you can cut off one of
It
the.
makes a beautiful little it makes a beautiful little bulb. Anyway,
Well, I love sexy. Now I'm telling you.
yeah,
You've seen my wife. I love sexy. But
that's right.
see now this one I've cut off one of the tails and melted it back.
Okay.
And like I said, that goes where I can hook it around my belt, and then I go back through, and then that goes right in the pocket. So as I go
And
to
you
pull
find
out,
these very functional.
yeah, I mean I use it on everything, but that makes
Yeah,
that a one-handed operation there,
that is nice. Very nice.
and it's so
Woohoo!
satisfying. It's so satisfying.
Yeah, it is. So what are we going to call these segments when we're sea raying? What is this going to be called?
It's going to be called "Looky Here."
Looky here, huh?
Looky here.
Okay.
Yep, and
Well, looky here.
that
Looky here.
came from Jerry Bradshaw. And talking to Jim, Jim's like, "Yeah, this is cool stuff that dads should know." So anyway, go out and do some sea rowing stuff and learn this knot and put it
Yeah.
on something because it will serve. I've got it on everything. I mean, you look around my travel bags, my briefcase down there. If it needs something on it, a lanyard, and especially being on the water, even my keys here. Let's see here. So that's the Jeep key. Well, it's
Ah,
looped around
okay.
my
Yeah.
belt with that lanyard knot, and then I go back through it, and
You're
look,
all set.
it makes the
That's
second
awesome.
safety device on everything. I'm not
Wow.
depending on that belt loop. I'm not depending on that clip. It's looped around itself on the belt and then hooked through the loop and the clip and the rope.
Wow. Well, hey, thank you. I just learned this live. So if C Ray can teach me from North Carolina to Arizona, you should be able to do the same. And I know we took a little extra time today, but learning the lanyard knot and having C Ray share with us of his C Ray and stuff on Lookie Here, this is pretty impressive. So, hey, thank you for joining us and look forward to learning more Sea Ray and stuff and look forward to more Sea and Avoid in the future as well. Sea
Hey,
Ray, thank you.
go do some cool C-Ray shift. All right. Have a great day.
Have a good one.